This is a compilation of all the synthesizers Behringer have announced, teased and showed pictures of, that has not yet been released. I have not included Euroracks or sequencers in this video, but I have included drum machines. The video is divided into 3 parts. First, I go through all the minis and micros Behringer have planned, then the drum machines, and lastly, the full-sized synthesizers. Let's begin. AKS Mini is based on the EMS VCS3 and will have 3 VCOs, an arpeggiator, a sequencer with 16 steps, an assignable joystick plus a built-in reverb. Announced in 2022. Price target $99. CS Mini is inspired by the Yamaha CS80 and is aiming for a 3-note polyphony, including a Korg Volca-style sequencer, MIDI and ring modulation. Announced in 2022, price target $99. Saturn Soul is based on the Roland Jupiter 8 and will probably be called Saturn Mini when it arrives. It will be polyphonic and will be able to play in unison. It comes with a multi-mode filter and a built-in step sequencer with 16 steps. Announced in 2022, price target $99. Model D Soul, or Model D Mini as it will probably be called, is a compact version of the Mini Moog, complete with 3 oscillators and a classic filter, a step sequencer, sync and MIDI. In 2022, Behringer said it was ready for production. Price target $99. UB1 Micro is based on the sound of the Oberheim-inspired UBXA and comes with 2 oscillators and a filter. It's paraphonic and has an arpeggiator. The UB1 was originally announced back in 2022 under the name of UB1 Spirit. Price target $49. CZ-1 Mini copies the sound engine of the digital 80s synthesizer, the CZ by Casio. It will have 4 voices and add an analog filter, a step sequencer and a chorus. Announced in 2023. Price target $99. BX700 is one of the stranger synths Behringer have presented. It's basically an FM synthesizer paired with the analog filters from a Yamaha CS80 with a built-in drum machine. In other words, a portable groovebox. Last sign of life was in October 2023 with a post of a working unit on Instagram. Hirotribe is another groovebox in the Mini format, which seems to be an original design by the same engineer who created the Korg MS-20 and Monotribe. The Hirotribe is an analog groove synthesizer with a 4-part drum machine, 2 oscillator synth voice and sequencer. Announced in 2023. Price target $99. No date of release yet. There is also a rumor the JT4000 will be re-released with an updated hardware, including proper MIDI connectors, but I will believe it when I see it. Syncussion SY-1 is a dual voice clone of the Pearl percussion synthesizer, famous for its disco toms and snares. It was announced back in 2021, but is now said to be shipping, but may take a couple of weeks before it arrives in the stores. Price is set to $199. RD78 is a replication of the Roland CR78 drum machine made famous by Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight. According to Behringer, the clone is using exactly the same circuitry as the original. It was announced early 2024 and said to be ready for production. No information on the price yet, but a price around $150–200 doesn't seem unlikely. While being loosely inspired by the classic LmDrum, Behringer LmDrum is not a direct clone per se, but can be described as a hybrid 8-12-bit drum machine with sampling functionality and onboard sample editing. Announced in 2021, Behringer said it was still a long way from production. In 2022, it was announced that it was entering a new phase of testing. No information on the price yet. This is one of the upcoming releases from Behringer I am personally most interested about. Like the LmDrum, the BMX is also a hybrid 8-12-bit drum machine with sampling functionality. It is inspired by the Oberheim DMX drum machine and have analog filters. The first images of the first engineering prototype was shown early 2023. No information on price or release date yet. MS5 is a clone of the Roland SH5, which is said to be shipping at the moment, which means it still may take weeks or even months before it will be available in the stores. But it's the next synth in the pipeline and the price is set to $599. K2 came out in 2019 and was a replication of the Korg MS-20. Now Behringer is very close to release an updated Mark II of the K2. It even appeared at Thomann in early 2024 for a brief moment before it disappeared. No further information on what's different from the previous version, price or release date. JT16 is a replication of the Roland Jupiter 8 with 16 voices instead of 8 and also comes with a built-in sequencer. The JT16 was announced in 2024. No information on price or release date yet, but Behringer have released the real picture of an engineering sample. JT2 is another synth based on the Jupiter 8, but is a cut-down desktop version with only 2 paraphonic voices instead of 16. It was announced in 2023. No information on price or release date yet. Wave is a replication of the blue PPG Wave from the 80s, a digital wavetable synthesizer with analog filters. It was first announced in 2022. The Wave was spotted in a real picture from Behringer in early 2024. No information on price or release date yet, but it seems to be 8-part multitimbral, just like the original. Spice is a clone of the Moog Subharmonicon in desktop format, with the same form factor and visual style as Behringer Crave and Edge. No information on release date, but it was announced in 2023 and is expected to cost $250. 2XM is based on the Oberheim 2-voice, which is 2 Oberheim SEM modules paired into one synthesizer. It was announced in 2022 with an expected price of $299. No information on release date yet. Proton is the follow-up to the very popular Behringer Neutron, which is one of the few synths from Behringer based on a unique design. It was announced in 2022 and the last sign of life was in the middle of 2023. Price is expected to be $299. Behringer is also in collaboration with the original designer who created the Polivoks synthesizer. The Polivoks is sometimes described as the Russian Mini Moog. The Behringer Polivoks was first announced in 2021 and was shown as a working prototype in 2023. No further information on price or release date. VC3 is a clone of the EMS VCS3, and was announced already back in 2017. It comes complete with joystick and pin-style patch matrix. In 2021, Behringer shared the first pictures of it, and in 2024 another engineering sample was shown. No information on price or release date yet. Kobol is based on the 70s French synth with the same name. One could imagine this to be released quite soon, as the desktop version was released in late 2023. There have also been talk about a Poly-Kobol version. No information on price or release date. Polysource is an 8-voice polyphonic version of the Moog Source, released in 1981. The design has been improved with more physical controls over the original. The synthesizer is based on 2 oscillators and a filter. Last sign of life of the Polysource was in the middle of 2023. The price is said to be $399. No information on release date so far. Neptune 80 is a replica of the Roland Juno 60, but expand the number of voices from 6 to 8, and has added an LCD display, MIDI and USB. The Neptune was announced early 2023. No information on price or release date yet, but an engineering sample has been spotted in images from Behringer in 2024. Behringer MS-1 is the Behringer version of the Roland SH-101 and will soon be coming out in an updated Mark II version. The new version adds improved glide and more accurate filter and amplifier behavior. The MIDI implementation have also been improved. The Mark II was announced early 2023, but apart from that, no information on price or release date. Enigma is based on the Buchla easel, a synthesizer many regard as a kind of mystical unicorn. The Enigma was announced in 2022 and comes with USB, MIDI, an OLED display and patch memory. In 2023, it was announced that Behringer had completed assembly of the prototype, although it was still a long way from shipping the unit. In early 2024, Behringer showed an updated prototype, saying it was getting close to the final stages of prototyping. The price is set to be $399, but so far no release date has been announced. VS80 was formerly called the DS80 and is Behringer's clone of the Yamaha CS80. It was announced back in 2019, and in 2022 they were deciding about updating the modulation system from the original. Since then, no news have been released, no information on price or release date. Pro 16 is a clone based on the Prophet 5, but with more than 3 times the polyphony than the original, 16 voices instead of 5. The Pro 16 was officially announced in 2021 to be multi-timbral, have an LCD display and contain the original circuitries of all 3 revisions. In spring 2023, Behringer reported the Pro 16 was getting closer to a release. No information on price or release date. Polyeight is a replication of the Korg Poly6 with 8 voices instead of the original 6. It was announced in 2021 and adds more controls and a display. No more information have been made public since then, but an assembled unit was spotted in a photo from Behringer in early 2024. No information on price or release date. Lastly, at the same time as Behringer announced the ARP 2600, in other words, very long time ago, Behringer said they were going to make a clone of the British Oscar synthesizer. No more information of the Behringer Oscar has been made available since. So, there you have it, the full list of all the synthesizers and drum machines to be released by Behringer. Personally, I am most interested in the Neptune, Juno synthesizer and the JT16 Jupiter 8 synthesizer. And the LmDrum, of course. Oh, and the updated MS1 Roland SH-101. What are you waiting most for? Let me know in the comments below.